my absolute pleasure to be joined by one of the UK's most loved and popular TikTokers, Megan Bolton. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? How's your week then?
Well, it's been, eventful to say the least. I had the jib jab, which resulted in me not, I couldn't feel my arm for days. And that's literally saying something. I didn't think it'd be this bad, but it was that bad.
Oh my God. Did you have any illness after that, or was it just in the arm?
It was just in the arm, but I felt that if there was an illness for the arm, I had it.
Oh, bless you.
So, Megan, how does it feel to be one of the most popular TikTok stars in the UK? You have a blue tick. That means something, doesn't it?
Do you know what? It's crazy. It's actually so weird. I'm still doing my A levels at the moment, so I'm literally still a student at school. So I don't feel like it's kind of got into my head officially. You have this many followers, and I don't think it's got in yet. But no, it's crazy. I absolutely love it. It's really overwhelming, but really good. Overwhelming.
At such a young age as well, it must be all these things coming together. I couldn't imagine having all that popularity at such a young age. It's incredible.
Thank you. Yeah.
So Megan, what was the inspiration behind joining TikTok? What made you want to join the app?
So I've always kind of wanted to be an actor. So I thought this TikTok could be something to kind of build my acting profile, because I was, I started off as a joke, basically. I started it off kind of, doing the videos at school, with my friends. Everyone kind of does that. And then I kind of thought of it as a platform that could really help my acting and kind of showcase the skills I have. So I then kind of started taking it a bit more seriously at the start of lockdown. But I guess that's the main reason I started it, purely to build my acting profile. Try and get into the acting world a bit more. But yeah, no, it was kind of crazy, but yeah.
And did you know anything about the app pre to joining it? I mean, was it kind of big when you first started it, or once you started to get used to the whole app, did it get bigger at that point?
Yeah, definitely. I think when I started joining the app and taking it seriously, that's when it became serious, because it was at the start of lockdown last year. So that was when everyone kind of started joining, everyone kind of did start taking it seriously. And I feel like that's when the app really did launch. You had Charlie D'Amelio, her face was out there, she was everywhere. And I feel like it was really that thing that everyone leached onto during lockdown, but it really gave everyone kind of that source of happiness and comfort, especially in such a hard time. So I definitely feel like 2020 during the start of lockdown was when it kind of, I guess, blew up for everyone, I guess.
So what's your view, Megan, of being branded as a social media star? What's your view on that word, social media? What does it mean?
See, this is the thing. I don't know whether I class myself as an influencer, purely because I don't feel like I have given my followers enough to be inspired by, in terms of, I know influencers kind of, would post motivational stuff on their Instagram, on their stories, and they do a lot more than kind of just push videos out. They'd interact and talk with their followers, and I feel like I haven't been able to do that as much, purely because of A levels. So I would almost count myself at this point as a content creator and entertainment, an entertainer. But then I definitely say I do want to go and be a social media influencer this summer, because I'm going to take a gap year. I'm not going to go to uni, and I just want to wholly focus on social media. But I feel like the title of social media influencer, it's quite big. It's quite a big responsibility, and I think I haven't wanted to take that responsibility yet because of my A levels, because I obviously wanted to focus on that. But yeah, I guess that's where it stands at the moment.
Well, I think you definitely inspire a lot of people, because looking at your numbers, I think your numbers tell the story, and you inspire me, hence why I had to get you on the TikTok.
Oh, thank you.
To get you on. So Megan, in preparation for your very first skit on TikTok, what was going through your mind? What did you want to showcase to the wider TikTok audience, and how did you want yourself to be perceived on the app?
Okay, so I'll go with my first video that I took seriously, which was a different types of people video. And the thing is, with me, I don't really care what people think about me. I really don't give one. I'm not a really self-conscious person at all, and I will put myself out on the world looking stupid. I really don't care. And I feel like the first video really did show me as me, but also the acting side of me. So my first sketch was, I think, different types of people on the loo at school or something like that, doing a poo at school or something, the most stupid random thing. But you know, and I felt like that really just showed like my inner weirdness. Like I am quite like a weird odd person, but I don't mind that, you know, I don't mind that.
I am.
And
We got something.
I just kind of wanted to like get that out there as opposed to kind of, you know, I love everything that everyone does on TikTok, you know, whether it be makeup, transitions, sport, music, whatever. But for me, I didn't want to kind of show a side of me that wasn't me. So I didn't want to kind of go straight in with the whole kind of like transitions, the makeup, the whole, I just wanted to be me. So the first video I put out was very much me, I guess. But yeah.
Do you think it's important for TikTok to have diversity? You mentioned before, it has so much on it, comedy, you know, fashion, it has gaming, it has politics. There's so much diversity on TikTok. Do you think that's what separates that app compared to Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, and how it's become a lot more popular than the social media apps that we've grown to love, like Facebook and Instagram?
Absolutely, no, I totally agree with you. I think the reason, you know, is because of its diversity and because of it has so many different aspects to it, you know, whereas on Instagram, love Instagram, but all you kind of really see is, you know, a really stunning photo of somebody, and that doesn't say much about the person or their life. And I feel like with TikTok, you're able to interact with people on a personal level because it is videos, and I feel like there's a lot more to say about someone and to tell about someone from a video than from maybe like an edited photo where they're posing. So I feel like TikTok really allowed that personal interaction. And I thought, especially during lockdown, that was so key because that's where people, you know, were isolated, separated from the ones they loved. And I felt like TikTok was that source that, you know, enabled everyone to connect on, you know, one platform. And I feel like it's really kind of like, it's really, I don't know, it's promoted things that kind of I feel like Facebook and Instagram haven't so much, you know, like the body, you know, the body on TikTok is just, it's everywhere, but it's appreciated in every form. And I feel like TikTok has almost initiated that, you know, like body awareness. I feel like it's almost initiated that on the other platforms to kind of hop onto.
Yeah.
So I feel like TikTok really has been that platform for everyone to go to feel almost safe and, you know, like I said, a connection with everyone.
So what do you think TikTok can do now to leapfrog all the other social media apps? What things have to change on TikTok to make it the most popular social media app out there?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. I really don't know because obviously, you know, I feel like Instagram kind of has hopped onto TikTok already in terms of the reels on Instagram. They're basically TikTok, is TikTok on Instagram. So I genuinely don't know what else TikTok can do to improve their platform because in my opinion, it's perfect. It's got everything there already. You know, you've got the live function when you can go live and your followers can interact with you. You've got the videos, you've got the questions. They're doing so well, and I feel like, you know, other apps at this point are trying to leech off what TikTok is. You know, Snapchat as well, Snapchat Spotlight, that's basically TikTok on Snapchat now, and everyone's trying to get a bit of TikTok onto their platform, I think. So
Those
yeah,
copycats.
I know.
So the next question is it's a two-handed question. So when you first joined, who were the influencers that inspired you to get on the app? Who did you like? And right now, with all of those followers that you have and all those likes, millions and millions of likes, who are the influencers now that you like watching and you feel that can familiarize their content with your own content?
Absolutely, yeah. Do you know what? That's an odd question actually, because I've always thought about this, and I've always thought, who did I watch on TikTok to begin with? Because obviously it was Musical.ly, and I used to watch. Do you know the Bite Squad? Like the TikTok house in the UK. I used to watch a lot of those people like Katie Franklin, Lily Rose, Seb. I used to watch all of them. But in terms of kind of who I can relate my content to, I don't feel like I actually had someone that I kind of followed. Like I feel like I said earlier, I kind of just wanted to put myself out there because I felt like, I don't know. It's a good question because Musical.ly was obsessed with like Lauren Gray, you know, all of those stunning girls. But TikTok, I kind of just came onto, and I didn't really watch other TikToks. I kind of just came onto the platform and thought, no, let's take this seriously. Acting, let's go. So I kind of, you know, I haven't really from the beginning interacted with a lot of influencers. However, now I'd say people like Eden Halves, who I'm very, very close with. She's someone I think everyone can like aspire to. You know, do you know Eden?
She's someone else who I've tried to get on the show. Or
Oh
tried.
yeah, she I'll put per word in view, but
Oh,
she's honestly so inspirational. She is, her Eat With Me's, I feel like they really did again help people in lockdown, and those are people I like to associate with and kind of watch. But in terms of like I said, relating to my content, I don't know. It was it was the kind of this country sketches that I guess almost started TikTok for me, and that's who I kind of looked up to, like people like Daisy May Cooper, the naturalistic actors outside of TikTok, and then I kind of wanted to bring them to TikTok. If that makes sense. But yeah,
there's so many, isn't there? There's so many influences, not only in the UK but across the world. It's absolutely crazy. But with all of those influencers that are getting such a big fan base in the UK, like yourself, Ollie Ball, the pool guy, Hannah Lothar, there's so many popular content creators. But as a content creator yourself, Megan, what do you think the key to separate yourself from other content creators who might do the same thing as you? What do you think people can do? And this is also inspiration for other TikTokers that want to get into the big game. How can they separate themselves if they're doing comedy skits and another person who's getting the same sort of fan base is doing comedy skits as well, and they're kind of on the same level? What can they do to separate their content to make themselves more unique to the audience?
Literally, it's exactly what you just said. It's about your uniqueness. It's about you, because I feel like people try to almost, trends are great on TikTok, love trends, but I feel like people almost try and, become the trend. They try and almost mesh themselves onto it, and I feel like that happens a lot with, like you said, things like comedy. A lot of people copy other people's sketches, and then they become at the same fan base, and then it's kind of like, well, who did it first? So I feel like in order to stand out, I know it's going to sound pretty plain Jane, but I feel like originality, it's got to be originality, because the personality that you have is the individual thing TikTok allows everyone to see. And that's what I love about TikTok, like we spoke about earlier, the diversity of things that people do, people are. And I feel like that's the reason TikTok's so successful, is because everyone has been like allowed to express themselves. And I feel like that's the most important thing, is just originality. Everyone's funny in their own way, everyone's pretty in their own way, everyone's odd in their own way, and I feel like you need to find in yourself that way and express that on TikTok. Because I feel like I said, people get a bit carried away and then start trying to almost be like someone else, because they know that other person's doing really well, so they're like, oh, I want to be more like them. But then you just lose your whole, like I said, individuality, and start becoming them and not you. But TikTok wants you, and so does everyone else. So definitely originality.
That's such a great quote. TikTok wants you. I should have that. Calmax wants you on the TikTok. You've just given me a brand new slogan. Thank you very much. And in regards to your following, Megan, words can't describe how amazing your following base is. But did you expect to get this many followers? And what was that one skit? If you could choose one skit that you felt really exploded with all those followers, what would it be? And describe to me your emotions in the response to that skit and the amount of followers that you gained from it.
Yeah, so I mean, for a starter, 1.9 is crazy. I'm nearly on 2 mil. I think I've got about 30,000 to go, and it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I like I said earlier, I can't actually get in my head yet. I think the amount of people is so weird, and like I said, I feel like I haven't been able to appreciate it properly because my mind's been elsewhere. But I feel like now that I can, I'm going to completely just focus on TikTok now. But I definitely feel like the one skit that kind of blew up on my TikTok, I think it's got like 13.2 million views, I think, was the mum versus dad calling you down for dinner. And it was the one basically where I like shout as the mum, and I was like, Megan, dinner's ready, when dinner clearly is not ready, and she just asked you to lay the table, and it's like, well, you've maybe come downstairs for no reason then, thank you very much. I think it was that sketch that kind of blew up the most, I'd say. But I definitely feel like the mum versus dad sketches in general were the ones that kind of really did help, because everyone can relate. Everyone has a mum or dad in some sort of shape or form, so I feel like it was something that everyone could relate to. And I feel like that as well, going back to your last question, is something that people can do to stand out, is make their TikToks relatable. Because if someone can relate to your situation, they're going to like, they're going to share, they're going to comment, they're going to enjoy watching it, because they feel like they're almost with you, they're almost being you as well.
It's kind of shocking that one click of that share button and it goes everywhere. That's the
Yeah.
scary thing about share.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, it's a great thing, but like you said, it's flipping scary. But I think, you know, at that time, I was kind of like, what? Like, how has this many people seen it? Like, what? I look at myself and I go, why would people want to watch me? Like, what? I don't get it. Like, I feel like we're all very judgmental of ourselves and we criticize each other, like ourselves a lot. But I feel like, you know, I'm very critical of myself. So I kind of analyze the video and go, oh, I messed up there. Why is someone watching that? Why would you continue? So I feel like at that point, it was almost negative, but also positive things. I was like, why are people watching this? Is crazy. But obviously it was no, honestly, I don't have any words to describe it. It's just such an incredible feeling inside. But it's quite hard because I'm surrounded by people who don't really get TikTok. My family's great. They're so supportive, but they don't really fully understand it. So I didn't really have anyone to kind of almost share that experience with and share, oh, I got this many views, because, you know, the mum would be like, yeah, well done, my love, well done. And it's kind of like, I was hoping for a bit more than that, but and I'm not really.
They'll be on TikTok too.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not really friends with many influencers either because of COVID, so I haven't been able to meet anybody. So I couldn't really share that kind of you know, achievement with anybody, which was kind of a bit sad. But you know, I had my own little party and myself. So
I mean, are you planning to meet with any influencers after the restrictions are eased on the 21st of June? And who are you planning to meet up with? Because we might have had them on the TikTok track.
Oh, really? Okay, right. So I don't know whether I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. So this weekend, actually, I'm going down to the Icon House, if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I want to get them on.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you've had them on?
No, I want to get them on.
Oh, okay. Basically, yeah, I'm going to go down there just to give it a bit of a trial. There is potential to maybe be I don't know how much I can say, but oh well.
Megan Bolton, hashtag icon.
No, don't. But yeah, no, I'm going down for 4 days, I think, just to, you know, I'm really nervous though. I am so scared because I've never met an influencer in my life, not gonna lie. Apart from Joe M. Carter, that is someone
another one I'm trying to get.
He's so okay, I'll message him for you because honestly, he is such jokes. He is hilarious.
Yeah, he's one that I have to get on.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's literally the same as me, just weird. Love it, weird. But yeah, I intend to obviously go down to the Icon House. I really want to meet Belle Priestley, if you've heard of her, and then also Eden as well. But there's just like a load of creators that I kind of really wish to meet, but realistically, like obviously with A-levels I couldn't. So now that I have more time, can't wait. So excited.
Now I'll be remiss in not asking you about the bad grade on a test skit. Tell me quickly, what was the process behind that skit? It's one of my favorites, but I want to know a bit more about, you know, what was the behind the scenes detail into that skit.
Yeah. Oh God, that was so long ago. I think that was one of like my first skits actually that kind of blew up. I think that was a different types of people getting a bad grade on a test. I think something like that. But the process behind that, basically, when I'm at school, this is going to sound weird, but oh well. But when I'm at school, I kind of like to observe people and observe people's like reactions to certain stuff, because I get cringed out really easily. Don't know why, I just do. So anyone's kind of reaction of like, oh, I got 20%, and then someone else who goes like, I got 80, and they're like, I got 80, and it's like, 80's good. And I kind of like to do that in school, and just watch people's reactions and just kind of almost judge them. I'm not a very judgmental person, but in my head I'm kind of like, why are you doing that? Why are you saying that? So, and there's obviously you're surrounded by so many different people in class. So that's where my kind of inspiration came from for that sketch, was a test that I'd actually done before lockdown. And I was remembering kind of people's reactions to that test. Because obviously test is something everyone can relate to. Everyone's done a test in their life. So I was kind of like, yeah, let's make this relatable. Let's make it a bit funny. So that was kind of the thought process behind that. But yeah, oh God, that was ages ago. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's funny that you can just make a skit out of anything you see. It's kind of like if I say, you know, you're in a cafe seeing someone having some orange juice, you know, you could just make a skit out of that. It's just brilliant.
Different types of people drinking orange juice. Like, yeah, no, I know what you mean though. And that was the good thing about different types of people, was that you could do anything. You know, different types of people eating Maltesers, you know, different types of people doing their makeup, like, and that's just how it came. You just look at an object and go, okay, we can do something with that. But I
Gotta
kind
go
of
and buy some Maltesers now.
love them, so good, so good.
Now I'm gonna give you a quote that you actually said that really kind of struck a chord with me, actually, Megan. You said many content creators with a huge amount of followers are expected to produce content every day. How have you managed that to overcome that with the huge fan base that you have?
Do you know what? I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't think I have. I haven't overcome that, and I haven't managed it. Because, like I said, I know I keep mentioning A levels, but it's been such a prominent part in my life right now. It's been my life so far, unluckily. But I feel like I haven't managed to do it, and it does show in kind of views. You know, if you don't do TikToks for a while, you know, when I mean a while, I mean 3 days, and that's what I mean by the pressure. The pressure to create content's ridiculous. You have to be on it every day. And you know, I took a 3-day, 4-day like time off TikTok, and my views have gone straight down, because TikTok is all about the algorithm, and they, you know, they like you to produce around 3-4 videos every single day, so it's really intense. But you know, you can't live like that. You can't live constantly just on it. I mean, you probably could, but everyone has different situations, and I feel like the pressure to continue creating content, especially, you know, new vibrant content that everyone wants to watch, is hard, because, you know, some days, like today, I'm so tired and I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to make TikToks later, but I feel like I almost kind of have to, because I have that responsibility as an influencer to, you know, make people laugh, make people smile. And if they don't see it like that day, but you know what they're expecting to see, you know, we're going to get like disappointed fans. So I do feel like there is kind of a pressure. I mean, it's a good pressure because it keeps you motivated, you know, to produce videos every day. But I feel like it is quite a prominent pressure every day in my life. But yeah.
Now, for people that are intended to get into the creative industries, you know, it's a hard industry to get into. You mentioned acting, singing, all those areas in the creative industries. Do you think that TikTok has provided people that opportunity to get noticed? Because we all know it's hard to get into these industries. It's a very competitive industry. But do you think that TikTok has become that fresh breath of air to people to get noticed easier? Because a lot more people are getting noticed off the app.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. There was actually a thing called the theatre fund, the TikTok theatre fund, which was run by TikTok, the Evening Standard, and the National Youth Theatre, and it was basically a kind of competition on TikTok, and it was for actors, singers, directors, anything like that, basically in the acting industry, to basically have the opportunity of winning £10,000, and then really like intense coaching to kind of get them to where they want to be, whether it be West End, whether it be, you know, in a series on Netflix, something like that. And that competition ran about 2 months ago, and anyone could enter, anyone on TikTok could enter, and you just needed to create a video basically showcasing your talents. I did enter, I didn't get it very well. But Hannah Lothar, did you say you had
another one I really want to get on?
Yeah,
like,
no,
one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, she entered it as well, and that's actually how we got to know each other, was through that the fund. And it, you know, I thought that was just an amazing opportunity. I feel like that is TikTok's one thing that they've done so far that has really allowed anybody and everybody to be included and feel included and be given like such a big opportunity, like £10,000. That's ridiculous.
That's a life amount of money as well.
Exactly.
The stuff you can do with that to enhance your career, if you think about it logically, that could do wonders to make your career really skyrocket to the next level.
Absolutely. You know, it could help people get into kind of, you know, drama university or something like that. So I feel like TikTok in that way has really been a really good app to kind of give people opportunities in every sort of way. You know, I'm not too sure about the sporting industry. There's probably stuff going on that I don't know about, but I can say from the acting perspective, it's been amazing for actors, especially with theatres closed. TikTok has really been a home to actors to allow people to kind of, you know, sing, dance, perform, anything over lockdown.
Now, finally, speaking of opportunities, you have had your fair share of opportunities, Megan, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about right now. You have had opportunities from TikTok, and that's exactly what I want to find out. You've been on BBC TV comedy This Country, isn't that correct? What was that all about, and what other opportunities have you got from TikTok?
So I haven't actually been on the show, but I have talked to Stacey May Cooper, and I obviously did those sketches, but it was crazy. I was talking to Stacey May Cooper on Instagram about like university, and she was like, I can write you a script for RADA if you want, and I was like, oh my god. But I know, I was like, fangirl. But I've had, I guess, other opportunities in terms of, you know, working with incredible brands like Amazon Prime. I'd say probably the biggest one was Disney Plus, and it's just, you know, crazy. And I think I'm about to do something with Burger King. I've just done something with Spotify, you know, and these are brands that I never thought I'd work with. Never. Like, you know, when I started this journey, I didn't intend for any of this to happen. I just wanted to, you know, get my acting out there. I didn't realize this was a job. I had no idea. You know, but it's been incredible. Like, I actually have no words to explain. Like, I didn't even realize this could be a job, you know, because I've been a full-time student, so I didn't even have it in my head that I was going to go down this route at all, you know. And I thought I was so set on being an actor, so set, but now I kind of am like, do you know what, I actually kind of prefer this more because I can act but also, you know, do this other stuff. So yeah, it's been crazy. Just I didn't think I'd be given these opportunities. I don't feel like I deserve it. It's weird, but yeah, it's been amazing.
Well, I can't tell you how great this interview's been. Megan is one of my favorite TikTokers, so to get this opportunity to chat to you has been absolutely great. It's going to do wonders for my show, and hopefully we'll get other great TikTokers on, like Hannah Lothar, the Icon House, Eden Halves. Hopefully we can get them on as well, because I want to get all the TikTokers on. I want to interview all the TikTokers.